Okay, I don't know what was happening, but I was unlisted. Now I'm here. This was really confusing, but we're here. Hello everyone. Had some trouble with the live initially, but now I'm here. How are you today? If you're watching me from any part of the world, let me know your name and where you're from. So my name is Kat, duh, and I'm from Portugal. I am live streaming from Lisbon, and today I'm going to do my weekly spread for the next week for May. This is the one that I have right now for this week. It was really standard and really simple, but I really wanted something very easy to set up for this week, so this is what I did. And I'm going to do something similar to this for next week. I have here all my pens and colors. I really like this theme because it has lots of different colors to use. And I'm going to take out all of the stickers that I need for this theme from the pocket of my notebook. When I did this weekly spread, I didn't have my sticker cutting machine yet, so all of the stickers were hand cut by me, but that is the end of it because I got a sticker cutting machine and I'm really excited to start sending you guys sticker sheets that are actually peelable. That was something that I really wanted for this year to happen because I really wanted my stickers to be peelable finally, and I finally was able to get my hands in a sticker cutting machine, and I feel like it's so good to actually have peelable stickers. I don't think I have anything else in here. Okay. So just to recap, this is my bullet journal for May. The theme was vegetables, like a vegetable garden, because I recently started a vegetable garden in my yard and I was really excited to see everything growing slowly. I planted parsley and carrots, and I believe I shared a photo of how my carrots look like on Instagram, but you can see the green leaves starting to come out of the soil for the carrots, which makes me really excited because it means that they are growing. You know, they take a little time to grow, but they are growing, which is really nice. Hello, Noemi. I'm a bit sick, so if you notice that from my voice, please ignore. I'm so sorry, I'm a little bit sick today. But this is my theme for May. It wasn't my favorite, but I really like the creativity behind it. I feel like I had lots of fun with this theme, which is normally my goal for bullet journaling. I like to have fun in my own bullet journal themes and not just do something meh. You know, I just need to have fun in my bullet journal for it to work for me a little bit better. So this is my calendar, and I'm going to plan my week at the end of this day, of today, after I take a walk with my husband around our house and neighborhood. I'm going to plan this week because next week I'm going to start studying marketing again. I've decided that, and I have two birthdays this week, my mother-in-law and a cousin of ours, sorry, and I really need to put everything together in my week and make sure that I do everything that I need to do. I have a marketing project to do as well. So, busy week, which means that I probably don't need a full 2-page weekly spread, but we'll see. And here are my goals for the month and my May dashboard page. I actually don't have any ideas for my The Artist Way dates, my artist dates, because this week I couldn't read at all, so week 9 has to be postponed for next week. And I haven't been able to cook a lot, like for pleasure. I just did the meal prep for the week, but I haven't been able to really do it for pleasure. So I don't know what this box is going to be for, because I don't have any ideas of things to cook. So if you're cooking anything, just let me know, because I really need ideas for cooking. And this is the weekly spread for this week. As you can see, I did just a couple of things because I had my shop update running, and I really needed to get that done, as well as launching the shop on Etsy, which I did. So now you're able to buy my products on Etsy, which is really cool. I really like this elevation of my shop. I got a sticker machine, and I'm now on Etsy as well, so that's really fun. But I didn't do much, besides that. Today I was supposed to go to the gym, but we are actually in the middle of elections here in Portugal, so I took my grandma to vote earlier, and I'm actually going to vote next week. Yeah, on the 18th it's election day, so I'm going to just put that there, voting. And I believe that here is my mother-in-law birthday. Let me just check my calendar. But we also have something on the 13th, so yeah, we have a family dinner here. Not family dinner, like a little party. I don't even know what to call it. And then here we have family dinner. Here, I don't even know what we have. It's kind of like a after dinner thing, but I'm going to check with my godmother to see what we have going on at that day. Thank you so much, Noemi, for your support. You're my number one supporter, I believe. Thank you so much. I am really excited to see how everyone else responds to the shop update, because I'm really excited. I love everything that I released, and once I prep your order, I'm going to send you one of the first sticker sheets that are peelable, which is really exciting. I tried doing one and it did not work, so I still have to figure things out, but I'm really excited to see just how that works out. So I'm going to set up my weekly spread now. So I'm going to take into account that I'm going to spend lots of time studying and working on social media, so I don't feel like I need a lot of space, and I am assuming that the next 2 weeks are going to be the same thing. So I'm just going to sketch 2 weeks in here. It makes me a little bit uneasy when I do a full weekly spread into 1 page in a traveler's notebook, but it is what it is. And also, it's not only because of that, it's because I only have this amount of pages for my June theme, and I'm not sure if they are going to fit. So if I do 2 weeks here and maybe another week here and the recap here, I have the cover page, I have the calendar, I have the habits, and I have four pages for the weekly spreads and my monthly recap. I think it's going to it has to work. I'm not going to do other things outside of my bullet journal for these first 6 months, so it gotta work. Okay, so I'm just going to put some music here. Okay. Also, let me know, do you set up your weekly spreads? Oh my god. Your weekly spreads like the week before, like I'm doing right now, or do you just do it like at the beginning of the month, just for the whole month? I only don't do that because I like to do these live streams with you guys, so but sometimes I feel like it would be easier to do that. But at the same time, I like to just sit down every week and do my weekly spread and plan for the following week. So that's usually what I do. I prefer that way. Because if I don't do this, I just don't review my week and I don't do like a Sunday type of reset. So that's what I prefer to do. Now, I combined the weekend here, and I usually don't do that. But honestly, I don't have weekends now because I don't work. So I think I can do this. Like, it's the same thing. So I think I'm just going to do 6 and call it a day because it's going to be easier. So I'm going to do 6 days and here 6 days for the next week as well. Okay. So in my case, it's 9 squares for each side. And I can do like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5, 6, 7. Find out one more. Okay. And for me, it's 11 down. I'm thinking in my next bullet journal to have like those cheat sheets for the grid, because I did that in like the alternative 2025 bullet journal that I did, but I didn't do it in my own bullet journal, so I might have to do that for my new bullet journal. And I'm thinking about going to A5 this time because I really like the Traveler's Notebook, but I don't know, I sometimes just feel like it's not enough, especially now that I have my own shop and I like to do different themes. I think I'm going A5 for the second half of 2025. So these are my rectangles. This is still a pretty good size weekly spread. As someone who tries to be the most productive, I think it's a good size. I'm actually not going to put in here, I'm going to put the dividers here so I have a little space here separating the days. Hello, Kelly. Smaller than A5, like a traveler's notebook, or like A6. I never tried A6 in my bullet journal. Just A5 and traveler's notebook. I saw some people doing like B5, but that's too big. I think traveler's notebook for a busy year and A5 for a more creative year. That's what I feel like it works the best. I've been using a traveler's notebook for, I think this is my third. No, it's my second one. It's my second one. And I feel the most creative with an A5, so I feel like it's better. I don't know, like I like the traveler's notebook, the size of it, but sometimes it's just too small, so yeah, I get why it didn't work for you because it's just too small. I get that. Like I like this size, but sometimes, like for example, for this weekly spread, I'm just going to have this little square. Like it's okay, but it could have been bigger if I was doing this in an A5 journal. We're going to work with what we have, so I'm going to create the weekly spread like this. I love the B5 when I was doing a ton of doodling, but now I'm in a hobo. Let me go back to different. Yeah, a lot of people use Obonichi notebooks, but they are not like this, like plain, right? They have like calendars. I feel like they are like presets. I've never researched a lot about Hobonichi because I only just use notebooks with dots. But a lot of people can't find their perfect bullet journal, like as the size, and they go for Hobonichis. I'm going for an A5 next year. I am actually thinking about collaborating with a brand for that, maybe Tifosi. I think that's what I call it. I have one of those one of notebooks from them, and I really like the quality of everything because the pages are white, are not beige, are like white. Or Scribbles That Matters, because I worked with them in the past, like 5 years ago. They were probably like my fourth bullet journal, and I like that, but I don't know. I'm using an Archman Olive for junk journal, but I wanted to have another brand for my own bullet journal. So I have the rectangles here. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people like get busy in their life. That's why I also started a traveler's notebook. I was doing A5 for years, and then I started working, and I couldn't really do very creative themes. I wanted more a theme that would be more minimal. And doing a minimal theme in an A5 journal, it's like you're wasting tons of space. You're not using your full creativity, and that was really intimidating. So I went to a traveler's notebook. But now I'm much more creative, so I'm going back into the A5. I really like setting up my bullet journal, so I don't think an Obonichi would be good for me, but a lot of people recommend it, so I might give it a try in the future. Okay. I'm thinking about doing something fun like I did for March. For March, I combined the colors of my elements into each thing for the weekly spread. So I'm thinking about doing that because I have here lots of colors. I have orange, yellow, red. This one is stuck together. Purples and pinks. So this is not from this theme. And greens. So I think I'm going to combine and do the same thing that I did for here, that I did kind of like a rainbow, and do it for here. And for the actual title, I would agree with that assessment. Plus, I'm selfish, love seeing all the stuff you do. Okay, Kelly, I'm not going to an Obonichi, but maybe like I'm thinking that I don't know if I'm going to do bullet journal forever, but maybe when I'm like super busy, I can still do bullet journals for like videos. but have an Obonichi as my agenda. Because I don't know, like, for example, when I become a mom, am I going to have a bullet journal still and do all of these themes? I don't know. But I'm actually going to, I mean, it's still far away from now, but I'm ordering that right now. I'm going to have a bullet journal just for like memory keeping of the whole pregnancy. Because I've never seen lots of people doing that, but there's a version of that from Moleskine. They have like a collection of a cookbook, a traveler's notebook, and a pregnancy book, I think, where it's kind of like you have questions and you have pictures to add and all that stuff. And I want to have my pregnancy bullet journal, so maybe when that time comes, I'm going to have a bullet journal for pregnancy and I try the Hobonichi notebook. Let me know which one you are using so I can search for it later, because I think there's a bunch of types and sizes as well. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm not going to do the grid because that is going to be too full. And in this weekly spread, it worked out because we had a lot of open spaces, but in here I don't think it's going to work. So I think I can do lines. The other day I did thin lines for my bullet journal here, and I kind of like how they turned out, but I might do like every other line. Yeah, so let's count that. So here is the sticker thingy. I'm going to have these soft corners here. I'm just going to maybe write the day of the week on the vegetable. And then here it closes. And here. I'm going to do the other ones. Hope you can see what I'm doing, because I'm just pencil the lines out. Okay, I'm going to have 4 lines that are the same color. So I don't have my scissors here. So I'm going to just use this whole lemon. I don't think I have my scissors here. No. Okay. Then I'm going to cut this part. Or maybe I can just rip it out. Okay. They are probably too big, but it's fine. I might not do a rainbow, kind of like mix and match the colors a little bit so they are not like, I need smaller things at the top. I might need to grab my scissors for this. Okay, hold on. Okay, this is confusing, so let me see. we have yellows. I kind of want to match each vegetable with a color. So let me just organize this a little bit. But I don't think I have. I'm just organizing the colors a little bit so I can do this better. Okay. So these like here. Yellow. This is what takes me the hardest part to do, because I have to plan where the colors are going to be, because otherwise I'm not going to like how they look together. All the 6: brown, orange, red, orange, yellow, brown, or is that green? Let me check. Okay, brown are these two. This is green, orange, red, purple. That's fine. Okay. These are my colors. And I might have to grab my scissors to put everything, but red, orange, brown, yellow, purple, green, red, orange, yellow, brown, purple, green, maybe I can change these two. I have green. Here I have brown. Okay. By the way, the discount code for my shop to get 20% off is Cat Says Thank You. Just Cat Says Thank You. Also, take a moment to update your bullet journal if you haven't done that today. I did that this morning because I knew that I was going to have a live stream today, and I usually try to update my bullet journal before every live so you can see exactly what my bullet journal looks like updated. And I prefer to do it right in the morning after I wake up. I do it before bed and before I eat like breakfast, just because I sometimes plan things to do the night before in my bullet journal, and if I wake up and I see whatever I have to do, I'm more likely to already start planning my day while I'm having breakfast after checking my bullet journal. Also, I added there in the comments my bullet journal workshop that I'm hosting on June 7th. I'm really excited for that, and I will be releasing some sneak peeks, hopefully this week, on social media about the actual workshop and the PDFs and pages and guides that I'm going to release for my Ko-Fi members and the creative ticket for the workshop. It has been a dream of mine to have my own workshop and to just talk, because I love doing these live streams, but I also like to just talk about the things that I like to do, and one of them is obviously bullet journal. And I feel like I have been bullet journaling 8 years this month, and I feel like lots of people watch me, and I receive lots of comments about questions, how to bullet journal and how I started and what to do and all of that. And so I decided to create a workshop just for that. So it's going to be all about bullet journal. I'm going to cover topics like what do you need to start, the mental idea that you have to do when you start a bullet journal, like the idea of starting a bullet journal, like what it is and how you should see it, some page ideas, layout ideas, things that can really help you with your bullet journal journey, especially if you are starting out. This is not just for beginners, but it's for everyone who does bullet journal and wants a little guidance, or even if you just want to know more about bullet journaling. I will cover lots of things around that topic. And then for the creative ticket, I actually decided to have like a PDF that you guys can download and use it in your own bullet journal and to practice and such. So you can actually have a guide to bullet journal. And I'm also going to have different printables for you to print and stick to your bullet journal, like stickers and inspirational quotes and layouts and different page ideas that you can just print out and do in your bullet journal, or just look at them and recreate them in your bullet journal in your own style. Things that I don't usually see on Pinterest and that I did, and then I'm trying to implement more in my own bullet journal. So I'm going to have that on the creative ticket for you to download. I'm really excited. I'm just brainstorming things at this phase, but it feels really nice to have a workshop of something that you love to talk about and that you love to do, and that you feel like it can help more people be more organized and creative at the same time. Because one thing that, like, bullet journal was created by Ryder Carroll to better organize your life, but I honestly feel like bullet journal is much more than that. Bullet journal is not only to organize your life, but it's to also have a little bit of creativity and play with pens and markers and scrapbooking in your day-to-day life. I love bullet journal not only because it's like my agenda made for me and how I want it, and I can change it multiple times if I want to, but it's also because it really challenges my creativity to create a theme and to make it work for the whole month, and it forces me every month to have something to share with you guys. That is my hot take on bullet journaling. Is not only to organize your life, but to also make sure that you're creating something every month. That's how I see it. That's why, even though I'm sometimes busy and I don't have really good ideas for themes, I still try to create something every month for my channel. Oh, this is a chisel tip. Okay. So if you love bullet journal or want to know more about it and how to do it and how to find your style and what layouts work for you and how you should do it, and even if you're just like intimidated by the amount of information that you have online about it and don't know what to do when it comes to bullet journal and how to start, feel free to join the workshop because it's free. The only part that you can pay for is the creative ticket part. The rest is free. I'm really excited about this project. It's going to be on my birthday month, so it's going to be a huge month. Oh, and I'm not going to have a to-do list for this week because I'm trying to use more monthly to-do list. I'm trying to use more my monthly to-do list every month instead of just using the weekly spread one. So I'm not having a to-do list for this week. Okay, now I'm just going to grab my scissors because I need to cut this one and the strawberries because that's not going to fit in there. I'm just going to grab my scissors. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Fits nicely. I don't mind that it touches the top part of the other box. Just going to make sure that the veggies are the right ones. Okay. I usually never use like the last line of any of my spreads, so that's fine. I think I'm gonna put the tomato here and the strawberries up there. Never thought I would have eggplants in my bullet journal. I can forget to erase all of the pencil marks. I always forget to erase pencil marks in my bullet journal. After that I'm going to take a picture for Instagram. I can't really have pencil marks in my bullet journal like I normally do. This looks like a fish, but it's a pineapple. Okay, almost done. Now I'm going to erase everything before I do the days of the week. By the way, that's another question that I receive a lot. Why don't I put the actual number of the days for the week? And it's because honestly I don't need that. I don't need the numbers here. I just don't use them. I have my calendar for that. So I don't need to have the days, like the days of the month in my weekly spread. that never made sense for me, never needed, so I just don't include them. Okay. For the days, I usually use this 0.3 mild liner, which is this one, because the difference is just not that much. Actually, the yeah, it's not a big difference. My Muji is 0.38 and this is a 0.3 point liner, so it shouldn't be big of a difference. That's why I like to use these two for headers. I think it separates the header from the actual title, the text on the weekly spread a little bit, so I use this one for the days. And I never know if I do like side by side. No, I do top to bottom. Okay, so it's going to be super weird. Okay. Friday. And the weekend. Monday. Tuesday. Oh, I could have used this for Sunday and Sunday. Saturday and Sunday. Missed opportunity. Okay, this is my weekly spread for May. I am really happy with how it turned out. It's super cute, super like easy to set up. It doesn't even look like a weekly spread, but it's really sweet, it's really pastel. So I'm going to use this weekly spread for the next 2 weeks. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you just joined, the discount code for my shop for 20% off is Cat Says Thank You. I'm going to write it in the chat here so you can copy. Percent off. Cat Says Thank You on my shop. I'm also on Etsy if you prefer to shop on Etsy. But yeah, that code doesn't work on Etsy though, just on my shop, because I haven't figured out discount codes on Etsy yet. But yeah, shop. Hi Zetiri. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Hi, so I just set up my weekly spread for the next 2 weeks, and you have in the comments my bullet journal workshop, which is free, and a 20% off code to use on my shop. The link is also in there. And thank you so much for joining the live, and yeah, I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.